My name is Jean Rotch,
My name is John Rotch.
and we run a ministry called SPIN, which stands for Single Parents in Need.
My family has been in Milford since 1800s, if not earlier. And so I've got roots that are very deep into the ground here.
I grew up in Amherst when there was 1,500 people here. So everyone who drove past you on the street, you knew them. So that's one thing that you tend to lose with growth and people moving in from all different areas of the country. But that's something that New Englanders still hold dear.
When anybody came through Milford, my parents always said, from any part of the world, my parents always had them over, for dinner and to stay and to get to meet. And so we all saw a wide variety, diversity of people, growing up through my life.
I will try to explain New Englanders to people who are not from here. And we have a reputation of being cold, but I'll tell people all the time, it might take a while to win a New Hampshireite's loyalty, but once you do, they're a friend for life. A single parent started coming to our church, and she was visibly pregnant, and I just felt like I was supposed to take care of her infant son, so she had to go back to work because she didn't have maternity leave at the job she was at. So she had, I think he was 2 or 3 weeks old, and most women don't have to go to work when their baby's 2 weeks old. So you're still recovering physically, and you have to just drop this tiny little infant off and go to work. So it just seemed like the right thing to do, to step in and help her. And then in watching her life, that's how the house SPIN was birthed.
Looking at the daily struggles and what they have to go through from the time they get up in the morning, getting kids out the door, getting the babies to daycare, going to work, coming home, finding kids, getting supper ready, getting dinner ready, getting schoolwork done, getting them to bed, planning for the next day, and then have to do something like, I want to do something for myself. Then they collapse in exhaustion and know that they have to start in and do the same thing the very next day.
It's very low-key, very relaxed. The parents come in, they drop their small children off in a nursery setting, and then we have people who have volunteered to watch the older kids. They all get breakfast. A gentleman has volunteered to prepare breakfast for all of them. So the children eat with their respective caregivers, and the moms grab a plate of food, and we go into a separate room and close the door behind us. So for 2 hours, they don't have to hear from their children. They can just be themselves. Sometimes
the meetings they will just cry, and it'll be a very emotional, teary. Jean comes out and grabs the 3 boxes of tissues that she can find and takes them back in because somebody's sharing something or they're just related to another. And other times they laugh because they're just having joy and just having a good time and enjoying one another and the relationships that they're building together.
We've just had some really kind-hearted people step in and do some really neat things for these parents, so that's exciting to see. One gentleman from a church come in and speak to them about finances and how to manage their money, and made them an amazing offer that he would work with them on their personal finances. One gentleman who works on their cars and will charge them far less than they'd ever get it done for in a garage. But rather than one person who does that, maybe having 10 garages around town where they know they can go to get their cars worked on.
I think SPIN has a great potential for expanding. When we have a model that is a good working model, that then is able to expand to have SPIN Nashua, SPIN Manchester, SPIN Keene, and expand it out.
Part of being New England is a real sense of family. I grew up in a neighborhood where everyone watched out for everyone else's children. So for this single parent group, if more people would gain that sense of we're really all a family, and how can I help these parents raise their children? What part can I play in doing that? These lives are valuable, and they're hurting people, and anything we can do to ease their pain or lift some of their burden, that's what the kingdom of God is all about.